Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Pero pido algo al principio. Tenemos que dar otro aplauso a esos niños. Un aplauso fuerte. ¿Sabe? Gladys, I do have a complaint. There was no flag or placard from Yalco. That's where my father was born. So, and I was born in Guantanamo, Cuba, and I've been in this country most of my life. Now, let me ask everyone a question. I want you to think about this. I'm assuming everybody has a problem here or some issue. Show hands. We all have problems, right? One of my problems growing up was that I was white. I was white. People would say to me, Lee was standing next to me. What did you say, Lee? She said, I thought you were white. That's the problem I've had all my life. People say, you're white. And then when I tell them, the Spanish people say, yo creía que tú eras blanco, when I tell them I'm Spanish. This is an issue I've had. What people in this country don't know is that we, Hispanics, Latinos, however you want to call us, come in different shades. Some of us are black, some of us are trigueño, and some of them are white like me. But somehow people forget that. And I can't tell you how many times throughout the years people have said, when I told them, he says, but you're white. How could you be Spanish? You're really white. I said, I'm really white. The first, one of the incidents that I remember very well was when my wife and I had moved into our first house on Long Island. And my wife was introducing herself to our neighbors. And apparently she told her that I was Cuban. So the lady walks over to me, bends down, looks at my neck, then looks at the other side of my neck, and says to me, I thought all Cubans were black. Seriously, that's exactly what she said to me. So what do you think I did? What do you think I did? I looked around to the left, to the right, as if I was about to tell her something that no one else knew. And I said to her, we are all black, but I took the treatment. And you know what? She believed me. We lived there for about a year, and we saw her many times, and she never said anything to me. It was as if there was some sort of medical cure that if you were black, you could be turned into white. So this has happened to me all through my life, okay? And I decided about 6 months ago to write an article called Reclaiming My Identity. I started out as a Juan, then I went to a Tony, then I went to John. When I went to school first in this country, they changed my name from Juan Antonio Negroni to John Anthony Negroni with a stroke of a pen. And that's what I was known for throughout most of my adult life until one day I decided in 2000 that I was going to reclaim my identity. So I started using Juan. At first I was a little bit nervous because I thought people would look at me and say, he's really a fake Juan. He's not a real Juan. So I went on. And then I wrote this piece, Reclaiming My Identity. And it was published. And people started writing to me. People sent me emails. Gladys got a hold of me. And a few of my friends from the National Speakers Association said, you know, Juan, you should turn that into a speech and take it to corporate America. Take it to organizations where subconscious bias exists. Just think about that word, subconscious bias. Sometimes we have biases and we don't really know about them, but we exhibit them in how we act. So the question is, am I Spanish or am I not Spanish? Let me say something. A mí me gusta el arroz, me gusta los pasteles, me gusta el pecado. Soy hispano? No soy hispano. I am, right? Anyway, so I've decided to start working on a speech. I haven't really started it because I've been busy. And I'm going to take it to corporate America, to organizations about subconscious bias. And that's what my plan is for the future. So Gladys said, just come and say a few words. Don't go on for very long. You don't go on for very long. So that's what I've done. She also said to me to read something. And I'm going to read it, and please pay attention. And it's Why Hispanic Heritage Month Matters. It's a month dedicated to Hispanic heritage, which adds to the richness of Latino Hispanics' story. A story that tells the world that even if our grandmothers and grandfathers were born in or immigrated from other lands and their English was broken, my mother never learned how to speak English. My father was an illiterate. He never spoke English properly. I used to be embarrassed by him. And it goes on to say that we are their heirs, are no less Americans than any of the Mayflower descendants. These stories are the living testaments to the complexity of how this nation was built and an affirmation that we are one nation, indivisible, made up of many. It is this rich and powerful heritage of many who together have built and continue to shape these United States. And that's very true. We are all Americans. We may have a Spanish heritage, but whether you're from California, you're from Chicago, or you're from Bridgeport or wherever, we are all Americans with heritage, with a Spanish heritage. And my goal is to take this message throughout the country to companies. So let me thank Gladys and the group for inviting me. And I want to close with one thing. Yo estoy orgulloso de ser hispano. Gracias.
Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera.